is Be Strong, Be Tough, Be Smart, and the title comes from a saying that I used to have with my son Denny when he was young. That stemmed from an experience when I brought him to school after he had integrated into public school. And one day things were getting rough. As you get older, you know, kids can be pretty rough on one another, and they began to tease him and give him problems. So I brought him to school one morning, and I sensed he did not want to get out of the car. He was having problems, and he was going into his visual stimulation issues that he had at that time. I'd say he was about 10 years old. And he said to me, "I don't want to go. School is for bad kids who don't love people." And it hit me so hard in the heart that I was just tears coming from my eyes, and I was trying to keep him from noticing, but all I could think of blurting out was, "Denny, you got to be strong, you got to be tough, you got to be smart, and God will do the rest." I wrote the book just because it's a story that I believe was we were so lucky in our situation to have been Denny turn out the way that he did and be so successful that I felt it needed to be written for inspiration to the families of other children with special needs that might need some encouragement, and to say to them that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and if you persevere and you stay on top of things and you do all that you can to try and improve your child's life, it will make a difference. The early years after we found out that he had autism, because you don't know where you're going, you don't know what's going to happen. I was depressed for a long time, just wondering, will my child ever drive a car? Will he ever get through any kind of regular school, let alone college? And, you know, what kind of a life will he have? And that hit me so hard that it kind of gave me the drive to do what I did next, which was to pretty much take control of the situation. As much as I, of course, appreciated the input of the schools and the doctors and the people around me, I always felt that there was something missing and that there was something more I could do. So I did it. I'm very happy with the result. Yes, the advice was important, and I don't claim to know more than a physician might or a psychologist, but I think the first-hand knowledge that comes with being a parent of an autistic or other special needs child is just as important. And if you can get behind that and you can dedicate yourself and persevere, you can make a big difference in your child's life. Well, I had to identify what worked for Denny, and what worked for Denny is to, it's tough, I take a chapter or two to explain it in the book, but the short answer would be to find out what I could get him to react to, and then use those actions in a positive way. So to say what exactly worked, number one is to find out what is your child interested in. In Denny's case, it was art, it was music, and later on it became science. So I focused on those things and tried to get him to be inspired by those things, and then I would try to inspire him by getting him to react in a way that an autistic child might not normally react. Because in some cases you get no reaction at all, or you're not able to grasp enough attention from them to be able to get a reaction. But by allowing him to immerse himself in some of the things that I recognized that he loved, gave me a niche, somewhere where I could get in there and establish the communication I needed to, just enough to start to make something of it. And it's not easy, you know. We're talking about a span of many months and years, many years, to get to a point where that actually made a difference. But that's what I did. I can live with that. You know, as a father, you always want to see your child be with someone, have a relationship, have someone they can depend on and go through life with. But for Denny, if that isn't the way it works out, there may be good enough reason to believe that it's going to be all right anyway. It's what's in his head and it's what's in his heart.